We're not talking about the Superman you see in movies today. We're talking about the Augie, the Silver Age Superman from the late 50s and 60s. A character so absurdly overpowered, he makes modern heroes look like they're playing dress-up. Today we're diving into 5 times Silver Age Superman was basically a god. Get ready, because things are about to get weird. Let's start with a bang, or rather a sneeze. In Action Comics number 273, Superman needs to travel to a distant galaxy. Simple enough, right? But on his way, he passes through a cloud of cosmic dust. This isn't just any dust. It is a special kind of sneezing powder, sprinkled there by a mischievous imp from another dimension named Mr. MXYZPTLK. Superman feels a tickle in his nose, lets out a massive achoo. And what happens? He accidentally obliterates an entire solar system. Not a planet, not a moon, a whole solar system with a star and all its planets. Just gone. Poof. Wiped from existence by a sneeze. Thankfully, the comic clarifies that this particular solar system had no life on it. Still, imagine having to apologize for destroying a galaxy because you had allergies. That's a level of power that's just plain terrifying. The Justice League would probably make him stand outside during pollen season. Next up, let's talk about his super brain. Modern Superman is smart. Sure. He's a great strategist and has a vast knowledge base thanks to Kryptonian technology. Silver Age Superman? He was a super genius on a cosmic scale. In one story, he built a robot that was an exact duplicate of himself, with all his powers and memories. Not just a simple machine, but a perfect sentient replica. He didn't use a fancy Kryptonian lab. He just whipped it up in his Fortress of Solitude like he was building a Lego set. This robot was so perfect that even Lois Lane couldn't tell them apart. He also invented super hypnosis, allowing him to hypnotize literally anyone, including himself, to forget things. He once hypnotized himself to forget he was Superman, just to see what would happen. He's basically a walking, talking supercomputer that can also bend steel. Forget calculators. This guy could probably calculate the meaning of life in a fraction of a second. Our third point is one of my absolute favorites. The time he could literally pull new powers out of thin air. In a 1958 issue of Superman Comics, he suddenly reveals a new ability. He can shoot a tiny, miniature version of himself out of his hand. Yes, you heard that right. A little rainbow Superman pops out of his palm, and this mini-me has all of Superman's powers. He sends this little guy off to complete a mission for him. Why? The comic doesn't really bother to explain. It's just a thing he can do now. This wasn't a one-off either. Silver Age Superman was famous for conveniently developing whatever hyper-specific power the plot required. Need to repair the Great Wall of China? He develops super masonry vision. Need to become a master ventriloquist? He suddenly has super ventriloquism. It was a universe where the only rule was because Superman. Fourth on our list is his casual disregard for the laws of physics, especially time. The Flash is known as the guy who runs through time, but Silver Age Superman did it all the time, and with way less effort. He could fly so fast that he'd just break the time barrier. It wasn't a big universe-altering event. It was more like taking a shortcut on his way to work. He'd frequently travel back in time to hang out with his younger self, Superboy, in Smallville. They'd team up, solve crimes, and just generally chill. Think about the paradoxes. But the timeline was apparently fine with it. In one story, he literally flew back in time and pushed the planet Earth into a different orbit to avert a disaster. He didn't use a complex machine. He just flew behind the planet and gave it a good shove. The sheer strength and speed required to do that, without shattering the planet into a million pieces, is mind-boggling. For him, the space-time continuum was less a strict set of rules and more a friendly suggestion. Finally, we have his ultimate display of godlike power, moving an entire galaxy. In Action Comics, number 309, a species of aliens is threatened because their sun is about to go supernova. Their entire galaxy is doomed. Do they build a fleet of ships to escape? No, they call Superman. Superman shows up and attaches a gigantic chain to their entire galaxy. A chain to a galaxy. He then proceeds to fly off and tow the whole thing billions of stars, planets, and nebulae to a safer spot in the universe. Let's just pause and appreciate the absurdity of this. The sheer force needed, the physics involved, the concept of a chain big enough to wrap around a galaxy ... It's beyond comprehension. He's not just moving a planet. He's relocating a celestial cluster the size of the Milky Way. This feat alone solidifies his status as less of a superhero and more of a physical god, a living, breathing force of nature who could rearrange the cosmos on a whim. So there you have it. From sneezing away solar systems to towing galaxies, Silver Age Superman operated on a level we can barely even imagine today. Writers in the modern era had to seriously depower him, to ground him and make his struggles feel real. Because when your main character can solve any problem by inventing a new power or literally moving the stars, it's pretty hard to create any sense of drama or tension. But it's incredibly fun to look back at this era of comics. A time of pure, unadulterated imagination where the only limit was how crazy an idea the writers could come up with. It was a time when Superman wasn't just super. He was practically a deity in a cape. What's your favorite ridiculous Silver Age Superman moment? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into comic book history. See you next time.